Desiree.
I'll be Desiree, I'm sorry.
Hi class. In society today, the meaning of sex has changed drastically from the past. You no longer have to have relations with a purpose or to conceive. Kids of all ages are having relations, and one main problem that contributes to our increasing rates and teen pregnancies and diseases is the lack of education in schools today. According to an organization called Do Something, 13% of us teens have had sex by the age 15, and most have had sex in their early teenage years. By their 18th birthday, 7 into 10 men and women have had intercourse. According to Winstock, in 2009, an estimated 8,300 young teenagers, 13 to 24, had HIV infections, not including the 19 million new STDs each year that is discovered from ages 15 to 24. Besides STDs, pregnancies is also a major concern. 400,000 girls aged 15 to 19 gave birth in 2009. So to fix this problem, what do we do? We first figure out where do teenagers spend most of their time. Most of us spend it in school, outside, or at home. Schools are failing to provide children with the proper education on sex, causing students to rely on their feelings or hormones. According to Nick Collins, a journalist from Telegraph News, 4 in 5 teachers said they do not feel confident in addressing the subject of sex, and have been studied on how it includes embarrassment and how teachers might be able to answer all the students' questions because of their lack of experience and limited understanding of the subject. If sexual education was taught in high school, 94% of them think that it should be about the reproduction, how to use protection, pregnancy, and disease, determining when you are ready to have intercourse, and all the compliments it brings and the change of body image that you acquire. Sexual education involves way more than a film about menstruation and a class period about human reproduction, which you might learn in your typical health class. It focuses more on the philosophy behind relationships, biology on reproduction, sexology on masturbation, and much more. It seeks not only to reduce diseases, but to build self-esteem, prevent sexual abuse, and promote respect and mannerism. So you can know how to approach things when they come to the future. This subject at hand is appealing for several reasons. First, it describes the vast majority of American schools, children through the public school system. Second, it's inexpensive, and principals have to be somewhat of a role model and teach kids and should spread awareness and teach kids what's right. Third, the parents who worry about their kids who are attending these schools and how they're not educated on things such as how sexual education is then aware of all the diseases that are out there. I have a 13-year-old brother and I have a 16-year-old brother. And I've asked both of them, the 13-year-old, if I would think he's already, if they would teach him that in school already, you're almost approaching 8th grade. So I asked him if his school taught him anything about sex, and he said he knew nothing about it. And then I asked my 17-year-old brother, and he says he knew about it, but not because of what his school has taught him, but because of what his friends and what he hears and what people are going through. I kind of took that as the two arguments that I'm trying to say is how school are not doing their job in teaching, and how my brother, how he's 17 years old and he has not learned anything in school. He doesn't have a formal education on sex, but he is relying on what his friends tell him and what he thinks is cool. To reduce sexual risk behaviors and health issues among teens, organizations can help young people adapt to lifelong attributes and knowledge, behaviors that will support their well-being and reduce the risk of becoming pregnant or having an STD. This is the quote that I got from my website. Along all Americans have had sex before marriage. These findings argue for educational and inventions that provide the skills and information people to protect themselves from unintended pregnancy, sexual transmitted diseases, and they become sexually active regardless of natural status. And then these are just... This is when adults were asked if used on appropriate grades to teach specific subjects in sexuality education. These are results. So these are percentages of the kids in the different ages. And then that was the outcome, what I said in my speech of percentages of teenage pregnancy today.